That's it. Okay, so we're doing a...
And good morning world. It's about, God knows what time. It's about 12 and it is Tuesday and it's something like the 15th or 16th of October 2018. The moon is now conjunct Pluto in mid-Capricorn, coming up to sextile Jupiter and Scorpio. Great time to be doing videos. This is my friend Amanda Ellis, one of the world's best mediums stroke channelers, angelic receptors. Call it what you like.
Oh, I like angelic receptor.
Just fell out my mouth.
That's good, Steve.
I know.
Yeah.
I know.
Hello,
lots
everyone.
and lots of people who call themselves psychic, medium, clairvoyant, clairaudient, clairsentient, channeler, mystic, whatever. I know 3 that I consider to be good. One is one of my friends. He lives in Croydon. You know who you are. He's a really good mystic. I know a friend of mine in Guildford, who's perhaps one of the best psychics in the world, and I know Amanda. And Amanda works with this guy here, Metatron. Angelic receptive, angelic transmittive, and to say that she's the voice of the angels is it's bigging her up too much.
Yeah.
But there is an element of that. So.
Oh, bless you. Thank you. Well, you see, we're both British and we're not very good at accepting compliments.
No.
So.
No, indeed.
Yeah, but thank you.
Welcome.
I love the angelic realm, I have to say. I've always loved the angelic realm. And it is the biggest blessing to actually work with so many amazing energies. Because there are so many angels. But yeah, this guy in particular, Metatron. And we're saying guy, of course. It's an energy.
When I first met
like
you,
that. Yeah.
as you succinctly pointed out to me in our last interview, it's about 10 minutes ago,
yeah.
The first time I met you, you were working in a much more conventional, normal
market
research job.
Yeah.
And you weren't working with angelic energies at all.
No.
I don't think you had any real consciousness or awareness of them.
No.
So can you actually pinpoint a particular moment where angelic energies started working with you consciously, where you became conscious of your interface with them?
Yeah. Probably when I started to learn about colour, Steve. Colour, yeah. Because my original entry into what I do now was that I trained as a colour therapist. And that isn't colour me beautiful in terms of you look very nice, Steve, sitting there in your white t-shirt with your red heart. It's more about, well, why have you chosen to wear white today? What does that say?
I don't normally wear white.
Okay, yeah, because what does that say about your emotional state, your spiritual state? White is purity, but it's also the colour that reflects all of the colours of the rainbow. And if you actually think about white and the angels, really they are reflecting different aspects of consciousness. And so colour was my entry to the angels, and in particular a colour system that I trained in for 10 years. So I did 10 years with them, colour mirrors. And they look like this. I'm just going to show you a bottle actually. These are the colour mirror bottles. So this is the sun actually. That one is linked to the sun, but a lot of them are dual coloured. And I spent 10 years with this system. And at the time there was one archangel within it. And guess who that was?
Metatron.
It was Metatron, absolutely. But because there was only one archangel within that system, Metatron said to me, well, I want a whole colour system devoted to me. He didn't put it quite like that, but you know, it was to do with bringing out all of the teaching and all of the guidance that this particular energy, Metatron, wanted to bestow. And it comes in, as we said on video 1, through colours, through sacred geometry, through so many different things. So it was colour that got me into the angels, and then Metatron just came in particular, in a really big way in 2007, when I did some training with a lady called Pippa Merivale, Metatronic healing I trained up in, and there was a moment of attunement where obviously you are attuned to the connection, to the Metatron energy. Now he'd already been around me for about 2 years anyway, and I'd been sort of playing with it a little bit. But at the moment of attunement in 2007, I remember lying down on the floor to receive it in a workshop setting, and what I can only describe as a blanket of energy. My throat chakra's going. A blanket of heavy, beautiful, loving energy just came over me as I lay down. And it lasted for about 45 minutes. And I remember getting up and thinking, now I know it's real. It was so tangible.
Which leads me to my next question for you. When people say to me, how can you prove astrology exists? I say to them, I can't,
No.
but I have got 30 to 40 years of statistics and tens of thousands of people who say, yes, this has been a positive influence in my life.
Yeah.
So I can't prove it empirically,
No.
but I can prove it statistically.
Yeah.
The difference between astrology as a kind of mathematical based art form and angelic transmission is that, as I understand it, the angelic side is much more based around one's own sensitivity, receptiveness and tuned-inness, if you like, to higher emanations of energy.
I think that depends if you're wanting to work with it, because the other way that the angels can get your attention is through very everyday occurrences. And I'll give you an example. This comes from my own background, somebody that I know. And lots of people out there will relate to this story because it's an angel story, and there are how many thousands of angel stories are there out there. But a friend of mine was walking down a very remote country lane, had a heart attack with their partner. They had a heart attack, and it just so happened that there was a paramedic walking down this very rural, remote part of Wales at that precise moment. They hadn't seen anybody else for the whole morning because they'd been he was a paramedic. He saved his life. Now, to me, I would say, whether that is an earthbound angel, probably, yes. But equally, the angels had told that guy to be at that place, at that time.
Well, they gently ushered him that way.
Absolutely ushered him that way. There are so many stories like that. And it's like, we were talking last night, weren't we, about how do you know it's the archangels rather than your own higher self that's maybe talking through you? And I think what I said to you, and I think it's a good thing to maybe repeat on camera, is the fact that having trained so many people now and helped them to maybe heal with Archangel Metatron's energy, or just connect to his energy, or just have him in their life, the stories that come back all have a certain flavour. And it's not my flavour, it's to do with the energy that is behind us, which you felt when you walked in the room. I know you did. You did. You did.
The clue was when I fell unconscious on the floor.
Yeah. Fortunately, there was a paramedic in the corner. No, but it's the stories. They're all. There's a similarity. There are threads that are similar. The way that I'm saying he. That's just personification. It's pure energy, is what we're talking about.
So
that's
that
what
means
the
calling
angels
astrology
are.
a she.
Exactly. Yeah. So, is that answering your question?
Yes.
Yeah.
But it's led me on to another one.
That's all right. Yeah.
Is there an angel that has the sort of energy of what I call cosmic jester, cosmic joker?
Okay, what do you mean by cosmic jester?
Well, in Native American medicine, there's coyote.
Yes. Like a trickster type energy.
Trickster energy. Yes, trickster.
Okay. Well, I'm not sure actually. I have to be honest. I always hold my hands up when I'm not sure about something, because that trickster energy to me doesn't feel very angelic.
To me, trickster in astrology is Mercury retrograde.
Okay.
Because it puts you in a situation which is seemingly intractable, and you have to come up with innovative and unusual ways of coping with changing circumstances, and you have to think outside the box.
Okay, well, the only thing that I can correlate to it, although I wouldn't call it trickster energy, is, as an example with the Metatron energy, it's when I talk about tough love. Okay, so it's like, I'm going to really push you out of your comfort zone and you're really not going to like it. And I might put a few circumstances in front of you or people in front of you that are going to really trigger you, because you need to heal what you are being triggered by. Okay? And I mean, he's done it to me plenty of times, you know, not just in terms of triggering, but being pushed out of comfort zone, screaming, not wanting to do it. But it's always been for my ultimate good, and I've always benefited from it. But that's a slightly different take on it, because I'm not really resonating so much with the trickster energy with angels, because the angels are all about support. So, you know, tough love, it's still support. It's okay. Tough support, but, right. You know, yeah.
So I'm aware of the existence of a number of different types of angelic energies.
Yeah.
Okay, and I can name some of them.
Yeah.
Obviously, Metatron, Michael, Gabriel, Sephariel, whatever. But what about Lucifer?
Lucifer has his role to play as well.
Yes.
Of course he does.
Because of course in Norwegian and Swedish and German, Lucifer means light bringer.
Yeah. Well, it's the whole thing about light in the darkness, isn't it?
Which we're going to have a good discussion on.
We are going to have a
next.
discussion on, but the point is that you only notice light if you have the opposite energy. You don't notice it otherwise.
Absolutely.
And we live in a dualistic universe and a dualistic world. So you can't separate out the darkness from the light.
No, you can't.
I obviously don't, well, I'm saying obviously, I choose not to channel Lucifer.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't want to really get involved in that type of energy. But certainly with the Metatron energy, it's about light in the darkness. He'll go into the dark. Okay?
Oh, yeah.
He'll absolutely go into the void. He'll go into the darkness. He'll go into the shadow. He'll uproot the deepest things. He'll expose the deepest things that need exposing. As well as within ourselves.
Well, if you can't go into the dark, don't go into the light.
No, exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
In many
can
forms.
I stop you actually, because it's just another thing I want to say on the Lucifer thing, because I've been asked it a couple of times actually about, what about Lucifer, why don't you talk about Lucifer? Well, what I would say to that is, hold on a minute, what Metatron's saying to me is, why go to the lowest common denominator? Okay, why always want to go to the depths of the pit,
Because you've got to start at the bottom if you want to get to the top.
Yes, although actually anyone that's done, I always remember when I did Reiki training, this is years ago, and there was the analogy of getting out the crud from a dirty lake or something, or a glass of water with loads of sediment. Well, the only way to get that is to actually stir it up, but what you basically stir it up with is light, okay? You're pouring in light to bring it up, and also to make it safe, to make it acceptable. Acceptable maybe isn't quite the right word, but
I find it interesting that Lucifer means so much in different theologies and philosophies, because in the Christian religion, Lucifer is the fallen angel.
Yeah.
But I think that Christianity is the only one that has this concept of the fallen angel.
Well,
I'm sure there's different names for it in different philosophies.
Absolutely, and Christianity has a lot to answer for, because it's the whole thing about heaven and hell as separate things. And what I certainly believe, and what the angels have always taught me, is that it's heaven and earth. We can have heaven right now here on earth. We can also create hell if we want to. There doesn't have to be a fiery pit that we go to after we die. You can be in the fiery pit right now today if you want to be. So what do you choose? Where do you choose to put yourself, Steve, is really the question.
In that case, why is it that the angels are... they all seem to have male names.
I know. And I've been challenged on that before. Not that I'm the one that's created the rules.
No.
But it's a very, very fair question. And what I would say to that is it's a bit like the painting behind me. When that's arrived in my room however many years ago, it was sort of how I imagined he would look, But I'm fully aware that he doesn't necessarily look like that. He could be a she.
Yeah.
He could be blonde. He could be black. This is the other thing. Why are they always white? Why are they always white? Why are they always male? And that's an illusion as well. It's just the way that they've been depicted down the years. And so our culture has an expectation that, Michael's going to be blonde. He's going to be Adonis-like.
Yeah.
It's a load of rubbish, to be perfectly honest with you. If you want Michael to be like that, he will show himself like that.
Yeah.
Because they're trying to connect with us at our level. But they will connect to us at any level that needs to be... They can be anything, basically.
25 years ago, I was living in the north of Scotland with a couple of older women with brooms. Well, they didn't have broomsticks, they had vacuum cleaners, they were New Age witches. And they were teaching me a lot about the Ascended Masters and the Ascendant Mistresses.
Right.
From where the joke comes, do you want to deal with the Ascended Masters or the Descended Mistresses? But but I'm being irreverent, sorry guys. But what I did learn at that time was there's energies like Sanat Kumara, who is black. There's energies like Kuan Yin, who is female.
Oriental
and female.
Yes, yeah.
So with the Ascended Masters, it's less male orientated and the white orientated.
Yes, but still we go back to cultural programming. It's the same way, why is Christ always depicted in a certain way? It's because he's been depicted that way for the last 2,000 years, so we expect to see him looking a certain way. They didn't have photographs 2,000 years ago, Steve, so nobody really knows.
No.
We're programmed to a large degree to expect them to look a certain way. And they do it because they're trying to connect with us. But we are limiting them. What was I just saying to you? That we must do a video on let's break out of the box. And indeed, I've done a video recently, but the people on my channel know that. But it's the same with the Ascended Masters. It's the same with the angels. It's the same with Christ. It's like we've all put them in a box. They have to look this way. They have to feel this way. They have to belong to this colour ray. It's a great way of getting to know them. But then it's like anything. Smash open the box.
Well, rules are meant to be broken.
Exactly. You know? Because I mean, certainly this energy, the Metatron energy,
in fact,
is
rules
so
aren't meant
vast,
to be
you can't-
broken. They're supposed to be first of all bent,
Yeah.
and changed from concrete into rubber and elastic, and then transcended.
Yeah, but to be able to do that in the first place, you need a foundation, don't you?
And that's where original rules come from.
Yeah,
yes.
yes. Exactly.
Fascinating. Okay. So do you actually consider there is that much difference between angelic representations and the representation of the Ascended Masters?
Not really, no.
No, neither do I.
Because to be perfectly honest, there's no hierarchy.
Indeed.
It's us that have created hierarchy.
And
It's us that have put them above everybody else, or above ourselves, as we said in video 1. There is no hierarchy in the higher realms. They all work together, and that's been one of the biggest joys for me, is when they come in, whether it's in a healing session or in a channeling session, and it's like, oh, okay, we've got Mother Mary here, we've maybe got galactic energies. That's a whole other discussion for another day. Okay,
it is another day,
the Ascended Masters, the Archangels, they all work together.
I've only got a tiny
merge.
brain. I'm living on one planet at the moment. Yeah, so
I mean, some people would profoundly disagree with me, but that's
their right.
That's their right. But that is my take on it. That's what I have learned from having been around their energies for so many years.
But isn't that the case then, that there's just sort of one planet but 6 billion different worlds?
Probably, yeah.
Yeah, we've all got our perception.
Yeah.
We've all got our way of seeing things.
Yeah.
We all have the right to agree or disagree.
Yes.
But the consensus generally gives rise to the new emerging philosophies, beliefs, attitudes, and that looking at the shift of consensus over the last 30 or 40 years in the approach to holistic stroke quasi-spiritual growth, that these ideas of having some type of communication, whether it be astrologically and planetary or through angels or the Ascended Masters, there is more and more openness to this.
Oh my gosh, yes. I mean, even the last 10 years in particular, the growth has been extraordinary, and that's not going to die now.
But isn't
not going to
that
die.
analogous with the rise of the internet also?
Yes, probably.
Yeah.
But, well, yes, it helps.
It's the medium.
It helps spread the word, if that's the right way to put it. But it's also just that I personally feel it's tied into the times that we're in. And, the times that we're in are difficult, are challenging. There have been many other times through history where it has been so. But, I believe, I don't like the word ascension, but what do you call it? Evolutionary path?
Well, as people on my channel know, one of my pet raves is the acceleration of evolution.
Exactly. Okay, I'm comfortable with that language. To me, ascension's just another word for it, to be honest.
Yeah,
we're getting bogged down in language.
We're evolving at a faster and faster rate, and it's a graph. It's a rising graph, not a linear one.
Yeah, it's a rising graph. But the point is that there is so much change, there is so much evolution right now. We need help, basically. We need help, and I think that's why more people
helping prepare us.
I think so, absolutely.
I get as I see astrologers, as more and more astrologers come onto the market.
Yeah.
There's a growing shift in the interpretation of astrological meaning. It's evolving fast. Saturn used to be the big devil, and now Saturn's seen as a constructive help by a lot of people. And it does seem as if the more the consensus grows, the more it's like we're being prepared for some type of massive evolutionary leap.
We're being prepared, and what I teach definitely, and what has come through this year in particular so strongly, is the fact, if you think about the qualities of the archangels, as an example, Michael, everybody knows to call on Archangel Michael for safety, for protection. He's now almost like throwing it back to us and saying, okay, Steve and Amanda, what are you doing to, help yourself feel safe and secure? So that comes into all sorts of issues to do with your base chakra. Are you helping yourself, basically?
Oh, I'm an expert at self-sabotage. But
a lot of us,
all?
Yeah, exactly. A lot of us are. But can you see what I'm trying to say? It's again, another example would be Archangel Shamuel, who comes in on the energy of love. And so many people have been sort of like, oh, Archangel Shamuel, please just bring me love. Please bring me my partner. Well, hold on a minute. Actually, what Archangel Samuel wants to do is help you to learn to love yourself first. Okay? Self-love.
How can you be in a good relationship with anyone else if you're not first of all in a good relationship with yourself?
So I think they're coming in strongly as teachers. I really do think that's what it is. And it's because maybe we're ready to learn. Maybe we've gone up from kindergarten to, I don't think we're in senior school yet, but maybe we're in junior school in terms of the collective energy that's out there. And I think we're ready now for something a little bit more substantial.
We're ready for the exam to go up to the next grade.
Rather than just sort of, please miss, please sir, tell me what to do. It's like, well, we'll tell you what to do, but then you've actually got to do it.
Which is, to me, a good way, analogy. That's a good reason why so many souls are suddenly cramming in.
Yeah.
You know, when I was born, there was just over 2 billion people, and now there's 7.5.
Yeah.
And they're all cramming in now because there's a growing sense that something is about to happen.
Something's about to happen, yeah.
Right, now look, we're going to close this video down in a minute. We've got 3 more to do, okay? So we're going to do 3 more after this. One of them's going to be absolutely bonkers outrageous, right? One's going to be...
Even more outrageous than Steve's t-shirt.
Even more outrageous. At least it's not shredded.
Does everyone know what it is?
This is a Banksy that got shredded in an art exhibition the other day. It was classic, absolute classic. It wasn't me. We're going to do a great video next on some really difficult stuff. Evil and love. And then we're going to do one that's going to be futuristic and hopeful, we hope. And then we're going to have a bit of fun. So tune in.
Yeah.
Hope you're enjoying this.
Yeah.
Catch you in a little bit, world.
Okay.
Bye now.
Bye, everyone. Bye.
Bye.